Okie dokie, guys. Today we're going to talk about when we have three variables and how to do our row echelon form. And remember, when we're doing the row echelon and we have three equations, three variables, we've been just doing 2 by 2s. This time we got to get our main diagonal, both of those to zeros, and then all three below have to go to a 0, okay? So there's a lot more calculations that we are gonna have to do, all right? So hopefully you have your notes out. We're gonna turn to the very last page so that we can do this, well, it's a 3 by 4 because I have 3 rows and 4 columns. So if I put this into a matrix, I'm going to have 1, -1, 1, and 8. I'm going to have 2, 3, -1, -2. Then we have 3, -2, -9, and 9. All right? Okay, so I need to get basically those all have to become 1s, and oops, those have to become 0s. All right, so luckily my first position's already a 1, so I don't have to do anything to that one. So I start down and go to my row 2. And so row 2, I need to change it to a 0. So that means I'm going to multiply row 1 by the opposite and add it to row 2. Okay. Then, once we do all that, for the third one to get to a 0, I'm going to need to multiply row 1 by a -3 and then add it to row 3. Okay. All right, so let's go ahead and do that. And so this one will become 1, -1, 1, and 8 stays the same. And row 3 is going to stay the same. And row 2 is going to become 0. -2 times -1 is 2. 2 plus 3 gives me 5. -2 times 1 is -2. -2 plus -1 is -3. And then -2 times 8 is -16. Plus -16 plus -2 is -18. Okay. All right. Then this one is going to become, and now I'm going to work with the new one. So I have 1, -1, 1, and 8. 0, 5, -3, -18. Now, -3 times 1 plus 3 is 0. -3 times -1 is 3 minus 2 gives me 1. -3 times 1 is -3 minus 9 is -12. And -3 times 8 is -24. Let's see, -24 plus 9 is going to give me -15. All right. I got 2, so now I need to make this into a 1, because that's on the pink line. Okay, we're almost there. Okay, so now I'm going to make row 2. How do you turn something to a 1? You multiply the row above it, row 1, by the inverse. So I'm going to make it a -1/5 of row 1 plus row 2. Now I have to add it to it. So that means I have 1, 8. I'm filling in the ones that aren't changing. All right, so -1/5. Oh, wait a minute, that's not right. -1/5 times 1 plus a row 2. No, I'm sorry. You just change it. Duh. Sorry, big old brain fade there. I multiply the opposite. What was I thinking? All right, so that makes more sense. All right, because anything times 0 is 0. So 1/5 of 5 is 1. 1/5 of -3 is -3/5, and 1/5 of -18 is -18/5. Awesome. All right, so now I have 1 on my main diagonal. That's great. Now I only have to change this to a 0. So row 3, I'm going to multiply row 1 by the opposite. So we're going to do a -1. Actually, I need an opposite of that. So 1 times row 1 plus row 3. So opposite, I'm going to have 1, -1, 8, 0, 1, -3/5, -18/5. All right, so we're going to have 0, because anything times 0. So 1 times -1 plus 1 gives me 0. 1 minus 12 is going to give me -11. 8 minus 15 is going to give me -7. All right, so now, so much work. We have that a -11, z is equal to -7. And so z is going to be equal to 7/11. And then I can put that back into the equation above and backtrack, right? Lots of work. So this is why we have our handy dandy calculator. So if you look at your matrix screen and you go over to math, and remember, this method is called row echelon, okay, which is R E 4, I'm sorry, F. So I wonder if the calculator had, oh, look at that. A is REF. Okay, so I hit REF. I put in my matrix and I say I have 1, 2, 3 rows and 4 columns. Oops, and then I gotta go down to OK. All right, and I put in my matrix. 1, -1, 1, 8, 2, 3, -1, -2, 3, -2, -9, 9. And I hit boom. Okay? And look, there's my ones, there's my zeros. Now, it's all in decimal form, so I'm going to say I want it all in a fraction form. Look at that. Obviously, I did a calculation error somewhere because it did my answer so that x plus negative 2/3 y minus 3z is equal to 3. And using this equation, y plus 15/13 z is equal to negative 24/13, and z is equal to 1. So now I can take these answers here and back into my equation. So if z is 1, that means y plus 15/13 is equal to negative 24/13. So if I subtract 15/13, then y is equal to negative 39/13. What's 39/13? Y is equal to negative 3. All right, so now I know that x minus 2/3 times negative 3 minus 3 times 1 is equal to 3. So negative 2/3 times negative 3 is going to give me, here, let me go over here, is going to give me a positive 2. Negative 3 times 1 gives me negative 3 is equal to 3. So x minus 1 equals 3. So x is equal to 4. So I get 4, negative 3, and z is 1 as my answer. A lot easier. Okay, so the steps to do this, one more time, is you're going to second to matrix, over to math, scroll down to REF, alpha, zoom, we'll put in your matrix, and hit enter, and then solve back. All right? Practice. This is also, these steps also are on the green calculator sheet that I gave you. So work on those practice problems using the REF. Just make sure that this isn't your whole answer. You need to get it down to your 3 actual points. All right, have a great day, guys.